On school, started working on cars, because that was now the thing to do. I wanted to be a lawyer. And then I realized, no, but a lawyer is not for me. I would rather want to be a mechanic. So I just kept on keeping with mechanical, and that's what I'm doing today. I'm doing mechanical work. And we still got the transport side also. Reluctantly for me, it's okay, so I can be at home and do my mechanical work. But whenever the trucks break, I have to leave everything I'm doing and do my job. To have a spin car, it keeps you hectic busy.
Shane Green is a familiar face in the South African drifting scene. He loves everything about cars, especially the competitive nature of drifting. Shane has even given up full-time employment in order to pursue his dream of becoming a competitive drifter who travels all over the country, taking part in drifting competitions.
I was starting to do spinning. There was a pitch in Atlantis, and then I used to go there, and so, yeah, but it's lekker, man. Let me build me something, and then some guy, Kimberly, Matthew, he saw me spinning, and Sean February, Eddie Rasta, all of them. They saw us spinning, and then that's how we started traveling, and then they saw that we got potential, and that's how we made a career out of it. And then where I switched over to drifting is where, also in Kimberley, we were doing spinning at Kimberley, SA Champs. I just decided, hey, let me just take a try with my spin car. And then I ended up third at Superdrift. So, and that's where I saw, okay, no, I can go far with my talent. It's the most amazing feeling, really. I doubt there's anything that can compare to when you drop the clutch and there you go. No. It's it's something else. Hopefully soon it will become a job. So, and then it will pay bills and, you know, bring in some money, because at the end of the day, I'm just spending now, and any wife wouldn't, you know, you just spending when you're bringing something back, you know. So, but yeah, she's really into it also.
Shane is a committed family man and is lucky to have a lot of support from his wife and children. His sons are also totally car crazy and hope to follow in his footsteps one day.
It's been a crazy time with Shane. It's mostly just cars, late nights. I like the spinning more than what I like the drifting, because the drifting takes about more time from all of us here. The kids are crazy about their dad. They love the drifting and the spinning. Yeah, he's very family-oriented. He loves his kids too much. He's self-employed, so he spends most of the time with the kids at home, where I'm at work. His kids is really his passion. The youngest one is not too into the cars, he won't get in. The middle one, yes, and then the little, my daughter, and then the other son, they're all crazy about cars, but the baby not so much. They love it, and they wouldn't miss it for the world. Usually I'm sitting alone in the stand with the family and friends and with the kids. He's usually in the pits. We support him. He has a major support with his kids especially. one of the people that I trust the most to get in the car with. I don't have a problem with Shane doing his sport. He loves it. It's his passion. So I'm not stopping him from doing anything that he wants to do.
I was born in Johannesburg, but I was a baby. Then we moved to Cape Town. I think I was 2 years old. We moved to Atlantis. And since then, I'm here. As a child, I was naughty. That's what I hear. And, but car enthusiast from day one. So, grew up in Atlantis. That's how most of the people know me. It's spinning cars, dicing, building cars. So, that is how I grew up.
Atlantis is a very dangerous place, gangsterism and that. And one night I was sleeping and I heard my car starting, and I heard this noise here around and here by the center. And so my wife woke me up and said, "Hey, Shane took your car." I said, "No, it can't be." So I heard him riding around, so I went to look for him. So he was, all the people was standing here and he was racing and going on with the car and after that, he asked me, "Daddy, come, let's try this, build me a car." So I built him his first car. I was so proud of him because one of my sons was already in gangsterism. And I thought, yeah, I must move out of this place. So we said, "No, Daddy, build me a car. Let us keep all the community." So I built him a car, so we opened up a pitch, like Atlantis Drifting Academy. So Sundays, every Sunday, then we take all the crowd, all Atlantis. You can ask, even here by the police station, we took all the crowd to Atlantis, and he was doing shows there for them. And one day we went to the police station and asked them, "How's the crime on a Sunday?" When we took them all to there was no crime. And I was so proud of it. I feel it's worth it. I feel it's worth it.
Earlier, we met Shane Green, a man who would happily spend all of his day working on and driving cars. His main dream is to be able to make racing and drifting his full-time profession. Drifting originated in the mountains of Japan, where drivers would push themselves to their limit by testing their abilities on curving mountain roads. The rush of racing in this environment required accurate car handling, while still maintaining high speeds. The famous motorcyclist turned driver Kunimitsu Takahashi was the foremost creator of drifting techniques in the 1970s. This earned him several championships and a legion of fans who enjoyed the spectacle of smoking tires. In the 1980s and 90s, canyon racing and drifting became an underground sport for a growing segment of motorsports enthusiasts in the US. A legalized form of drifting crossed the ocean to the US in 1996 at one of the first drift events outside Japan at Willow Springs Raceway in California. The sport became increasingly popularized by Hollywood film franchises like The Fast and the Furious. Drifting has evolved into a competitive sport where the drivers compete to earn points from judges based on various factors. It has become increasingly popular with events held in almost every part of the world, including Russia, Ireland, Malaysia, Greece, and South Africa. In South Africa in the 90s, the sport was associated with gangsters who would spin their cars at the funerals of their fallen members to honor them. Drifting has now become a legal and fast-growing spectator sport, having already advanced to a profitable industry and has a network of promoters, spinners, and crowds. Malikah Daniels is a busy working mother of 2 boys, an extreme dog lover, as well as a music promoter. Her day job involves managing the career of her husband, well-known radio personality DJ Reddy D.
Yeah, that's for sure. First of all, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a doctor, I'm a teacher. the list just goes on and on. Very passionate about dogs. Okay, my children comes first, and my husband second.
But after Malika takes off her wife, mother and manager hat, she also finds the time to be one of the few female exhibition drifters in the Western Cape.
Drift is basically taking your car that's supposed to be going forward, taking it sideways. And I always just used to be one of the people looking in, and we had a spot in close to the airport, but it was belonged to a friend of ours. We had this area that he said we could use. And I was always the one just looking in. I told my husband, I want to do this, I want to try this, I know I can. And then from then I said, okay, and then things happen. I started being a passenger, now I'm a driver, and now I'm having passengers, so it's all good with me.
While she has been around and involved in the motor scene world for a long time, she only took up the opportunity to try drifting herself 8 years ago, and has proven to be better than a lot of the male drifters out there.
My thoughts about Malika's drifting, you know, in all honesty, I don't sit passenger with too many people. I sat passenger with her once in Kimberley when we went up for training. So one of the best drifters in our country. He took us for some training, and his words to Malika was, "You are fearless." And I experienced that fearlessness myself. And after going out for a couple of sessions, I swore I am never, ever going to be sitting with you passenger ever again. No, thank you. If I'm even sitting passenger in our day-to-day vehicle, I'm sitting there holding onto the seat belt and I'm banging on the dashboard and everything.
Malikah Daniels met her husband when she was a young, aspiring rapper and dancer. While her career has taken a different turn since she became a wife and mother, she does occasionally get a chance to play around in their home studio.
I started out with music. In general, I love music, all sorts of music. But I gravitated towards hip-hop.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Homegirls, attention you must pay, so listen close to what I say. Don't take this as a simple rhyme, cause this type of thing happens.
There was this gathering at the base, and that was like it. And then they used to have this afternoon sessions called like rap battles, and they used to have the dance battles. And then we formed a group, myself and my sister, and called the Sisters in Command.
Well, when I came across this females that could actually rap and beatbox, and they could, you know, do some beagle moves and they could bust moves, I was very excited though.
We were the first female hip-hop group and the first female to drift in Cape Town. First time for everything.
Biting on my moves. Don't break yourself. That's what I'm talking about.
Despite her busy lifestyle, Malika is always happy and upbeat, and also always finds time to hang out with her family, including her mother and sister.
Malika, well, she's still the same. Jovial. There was never a dull moment with her, and she is still like that. We love her because she's the fun of the party. As the Tupperware, I'm going to put Tupperware. Not the Tupperware, the Paki.
Malika's always been the crazy one in the family. We would go to birthday parties when we were very small, and she would be the clown at the party. And the minute she sees everybody's laughing, that was a cue. And then she would be the entertainer for the day. That was Malika.
Talented.
You know, a mom will just be my mom. Any other, no, but she came to one of my events. Yeah, I think I just started out. And she told me, no, I'll never go again, because she was the one that's tell her to stop, she must stop. I was like, no, I'm carrying on. I've never actually got them into one of my cars, because I thought they'll do it.
We often lecturing her and telling her, take a break, take it easy. She's juggling schooling and drifting and DJing and admin work. She's forever busy with something.
And she stresses school. I wish you wouldn't do that, and I wish you wouldn't work so hard also.
I've always been a huge car fanatic. It's just I never thought one day that I would actually be drifting. Like my children are so it's not like, no, you shouldn't be doing this, because it's they support me, and everything that I do, they support me. My husband, my children, it's my passion. So if you love it, you do it, because that's what I allow them to do. So in the reverse, they just show me the same.
I'm really proud of her in terms of where she is at the moment, and just bearing in mind that she don't spend a lot of time behind the wheel and she don't get a lot of seat time as we do, you know. And normally to become a really good driver, you do need seat time, but she's got that sort of natural ability to drive. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I still need to get to that level in my life, but she's on the way to be a really phenomenal driver.
The first off,
Before the break, we met busy working mom Malikah Daniels, who is committed to her family and her dogs. But when the work gloves come off, the driving gloves go on, as Malika loves nothing more than drifting around a racing track.
One thing I absolutely like of Atlantis, no traffic, no rush, you just easy. Hello my baby, how are you?
What's your name?
Shane.
Shane.
Come, you gonna get your...
Yeah, come jump in.
No.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm gonna sit in my car.
Hello?
Daddy, give it to me.
Bisa lang para ang folks. Bisa lang lang.
How are you boys?
Daddy, I'm going to
No, Daddy didn't bring his wallet.
Shut up, man.
Daddy didn't bring his wallet. No, he has no money. They are 7 and 8, and the one is 14. And I'm just glad they're also into it. It just costs a lot of money because they are already into quad biking and go-karting, and it's hectic. It's a lot of money. And one thing I can tell you about them is whenever it's flat wheel outside, or I can tell them, look here, I need that wheel change, or check the water and oil, and yeah, so they're very hands-on, and they love, or they like to do mechanical work. They're always dirty. Always. We can't go out because why their clothes is full of oil. That's how, but they are insanely mad over cars. I wish, or I hope I can bring them where I am. So, we must see. See, this car's got a battery now. Yeah. And then you must just pull out the scar for me. You have to take this battery out now. You have to put on new terminals also. Yo, check where the span is laying. Okay, so you must change that battery for me. Nah? And then you must pull out the scar for that, you know? And so that we can get here to the wheels. Yeah, for the weekend. Pack. And then we should pack the van. Okay. Pack away the tools along the ready that's laying here. Because we're not using anything.
My dad teaches me, and then I just, and they will like stand by me and see how I change the wheels and stuff. But then I'll also ask them to help me. Spinning with my daddy on the pitch, under in the factories. It's really awesome. That feeling, if you feel like you're gonna roll or something, but you're actually just spinning.
Is die klats die regte way op?
I can tell you that my dad's very much awesome. I like his cars, I like the way he drifts. He's very competitive. He wouldn't give up, and yeah, I also want to be like him. And he motivates me a lot, like really a lot.
My brothers, mother, father, my children, wife, all of them, they are with me 100%. And that's why I'm so far also, man. That's why I'm so grateful to them. Even if when I leave to Kimberley or wherever I travel to, and then there's always a hiccup with, is this sorted, that sorted. But that's not one thing I can rely on, is that I don't even have to think of accommodation, okay, this or that, or this is the bakkie service, the trailer sorted out, the tires for the trailer, bakkie stuff. You know, then my brother or my father, they will sort that type of things out.
Jason Webb started drifting when he was 16 years old, and by the age of 22 was already a two-time South African national drift champion. He has also represented South Africa at the notorious Gartbiel event in Norway, one of the world's largest and most prestigious drifting events.
So drifting, I mean, you get 4 judges and they each judge you drift differently. You get an angle judge, a line judge, a style judge, and a speed judge. And, you know, you got to score points with each judge high enough to, you know, get obviously the higher qualifier. And then sort of on the course, there's cones laid out. So the closer you get to those cones, which we call clipping points, is the better you get, the better points you get. So basically, I mean, drifting is one of the most technical motorsports you do get because it's a judge sport. A lot of people compare it to like ballet or something, you know, the car way of ballet. When it comes to action sports, it's one of the best you can get, especially, you know, crowd-wise. It's not like a race where you see a corner and then the cars are gone and you see them 2 minutes later. Everything's happening in front of you, and that's only where it happens. So that's the great thing about drifting, and that's why the fans love it, and that's why it's just exploded. Drag racing and drifting is probably the biggest form of motorsport we do have in South Africa. I think the most fun thing about drifting in a controlled environment is you can go as fast as you want. If you go off, you know, you're not going to go off into a mountain or into another car and hurt people that you don't want to hurt. Whereas on the controlled environment, if you do crash, you've got a roll cage, you're not going to knock people, and you know, you could still potentially walk away. But yeah, the worst I've had was just blue shoulders. I've crashed a car a few times, and just obviously the safety. Thankfully, the safety regulations from Motorsport South Africa are really high, so you know, you can't drift on the track if you don't meet those expectations of the safety. So that's why all the cars have roll cages, proper seats, proper race seats, and all that. Yeah. It's definitely becoming more mainstream. I mean, the more corporates we get involved, the more mainstream it's going to become. And it's just been recognized by the FIA, which is, you know, FIA runs Formula One and all that. So as a sport, because it was never recognized as a sport. So the FIA recognized it this year as a sport, and that's just brought even more corporates into the actual thing. It's just so marketable, and you know, we are losing out in South Africa because we can't, to get on TVs and all that, it's just so difficult. It's definitely becoming bigger and better, and as you say, it is becoming more mainstream.
So here we're prepping a car for Sunday. We call it Sunday sessions. So we just took out the engine now. We're just gonna refresh it, get it sprayed. Because the guy that drives this car, it's a hooligan. This is our pit crew doing engines.
Preparing a vehicle for peak performance requires teamwork and meticulous attention to detail.
Okay. Ek kring wiel klas kon gemaak, né? Ek spyt gaaf, maar nie laat die op die paving loop nie. Okay. This is our other main mechanic, Keena. She's the supervisor in the yard, see that everything goes right. And she also tunes cars, so... Sakkie Jack. Hoekom? Jy het iets getrek daar, wat was dat? Is die klats hier regte way op? Beseker? Die klats is verkeerd op, ja. Ja, die klats is afgevorder. Kom maar. Oh, beautiful. You strip each and everything out of that car and make sure that we call it a bolt check. And then we'll check each and every bolt, suspension bolt, wheel bolts, bearings, cylinders, service the car. So yeah, we have to go through everything. It's like a 100-point checkup before we go and do racing. E46 was better. E530 is better. Quickly. See there, it's odd. Pumped up.
Earlier, we saw how Shane has passed on the car-loving gene to his sons. We also saw how Malika is a drifting force to be reckoned with.
How about attending to my baby? Look at here, so good.
I phoned Gino early on. I was actually on WhatsApp with him, and he said he's going to come through.
Is it green like you showed me? It's got a more shimmer that two goes together.
Wait for it, say.
It's a wrap that they put on the car, and it's something that you can actually pull off. So if I'm tired of that color, Gina comes, he pulls the wrap off and just puts on whatever other color I want. That's what I like about it. We've been in and out deciding on colors, so I said, listen, you guys decide and just surprise me. Because if I had my way, I would probably make it pink, but the guy said no. Really very excited because I don't know what to expect. The car left black. I don't know what. It might be a Lamborghini. I don't know what it's going to be when I get there, but I'm very excited to see it.
Malika wanted to refresh the look of her beloved exhibition car. And today she will see the finished product for the first time.
Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
What a gold! Wow!
While it is very important that all the inner mechanics of your drift vehicle are in tip-top condition, most exhibition drifters, Malika included, also like for their car to have a good outer appearance.
Now, I love it. I'm surprised to what it looked like before. They did an awesome job. It's just mind-blowing. I love it. Okay, I didn't expect the gold. Nothing of the gold was discussed with me, but okay, they surprised me. I said surprise me, and they did. Loving it. I was at home one day, and I was just lying in bed, and I was scrolling through Facebook pictures, and then up pops this, somebody tagged me in a photo, and I saw a photo of my son, my oldest one, with a racing helmet, and he's at Killarney. I said, what's happening here? And they said, nah, Dean is taking his car out to Killarney to go and to see how it goes. And I thought, I hope this is not the start of something new. Because if it is, you're going to have to pay for your own tires. We always tell them, if you feel you want to test your car, take it to Killarney. And he thoroughly enjoyed it, but that was just like a once with it.
Malika and her husband have also started a safety initiative called Safer Roads for All, where they pay particular attention to youth who are interested in drifting and motorsport, but who don't necessarily understand the inherent dangers of racing and drifting on public roads.
As you know, there's lots of death tolls on the road. And what we decided to do is, there's a lot of, and it's mostly youngsters, you know, they get tempted to race on the road, and that's when everything just hits the fan. That's where we got this activation going, it's sort of called Safer Roads for All, where we took that whole racing on the road concept to Killarney, and basically teaching young kids about the dangers of racing on the roads as well. So we take them to the track to give them the drift experience, that what could possibly go wrong if you're trying to race in public roads. So we're trying to just spread that message across to the young ones, and basically using the kids to inform their elders, their moms, their aunts, and about drinking and driving and illegal street racing. So we're just using them to bring across the message to, before they even start driving themselves. They would have been informed of how to use the road, because they are our future drivers on the road as well.
While some may regard it as a sport of carefree abandon, spinning and drifting has to obey the strict rules to ensure the safety of all those involved or affected.
On the illegal street racing side of the scene, the unfortunate thing is the accidents and the stats that show that as well. I'm always telling people, I'm not here to knock anybody. You know, if you want to do illegal street racing, so be it. That's your thing. You know, until things happen that's not in your favor. I know a lot of people that have lost their lives, and I've known a lot of people that have been the cause of other people being injured or killed on the roads as well. So these are the main factors that I think law enforcement is trying to fight as well. And through our campaign, we're practically encouraging young people to think of themselves as safety ambassadors, and we're giving them the full experience to make them understand that. So if they do find themselves in a situation where they're going to get into a car with somebody that have the intentions of driving recklessly or involved with street racing, at least they know what to do. So I'd encourage that person to take me home. I'm not getting into this car with you because I've been made aware of the dangers. And there's a lot of young people on the roads as well that's being injured and losing their lives, just as pedestrians or kids on the skateboards, on their bicycles and all these things. So it's quite a broad challenge that we have on our hands at the moment as well. So I think all of these things combined, that kind of creates the negative stereotype around drifting, spinning and street racing.
With Malika's car having been tuned to perfection, she, together with her husband and fellow car enthusiast Malikah Daniels, are all set to put her car through its paces.
Yeah, you can't just go there with any normal car. You need to have your everything seen to, like your suspension, the brakes, the handbrake, your motor running, and it's not just going there and thinking you can do the same thing. It might have to be set up to a certain point for the car to be able to drift. It takes a lot of concentration, because you have to be so vigilant of what is going on around you. So you always got to basically pace yourself and set yourself up before the time where you want to go. But it's also, actually the drifting has given me a better way of driving onto the road, because you become actually more conscious of what's going on around you. You always, you know, it's always buzzing. They call it a tandem. So that's when two cars go out together. It's not everybody that wants to do a tandem, but if you trust the next person, I don't think they trust me that much yet, because from the footage I've seen, it's like, why are you going so far away from me? It's like, I wasn't sure you were going. So I said, well, I was timing you. So it's always about trusting the next person. You must actually basically be able to read what he's going to do. Next I said, but you were like there in Worcester and I was here in Cape Town. I said, no, it's fine. You must concentrate on the car that's either next to you or in front of you. You can basically see from the inside how far near to go. What I usually do, I check the wheels in front as well to see which way they're going. And I try to keep my distance a safe distance at all times. Anwar is the mechanic for us. He is a very close friend of mine, and our cars is basically his babies.
With us being so long in the game, the Drift Squad crew, so with Malika and Dee doing the thing, it's very important to get in sync in what we're doing and basically get to know each other and basically drive together. And that's basically how you get the confidence up. And that's why we saw Malika doing today, is she drive with so much confidence, and with her husband as well, because they actually doing some side to side, and just by nodding of the head and doing this, they know exactly what they're doing. So that's the cool part of them as a crew, driving together, exhibition drifting, and then you kind of know everybody's strong points and obviously the flaws, but we don't go there, and we just carry on with the strong stuff. For argument for me personally with the small stuff is that, you know, the hands, the eye, you need to find out where you're going, the throttle response of the hands, that's all got to do with the sequence to actually get the car to slide in a perfect slide as well. So that takes a lot of time and practice, and with these guys, you know, we had a lot of practice, even on the track now, they're awesome with that.
Thank you so much.
Before the break, Malika collected her freshly painted car and promptly took it for a spin. Shane has entered the annual Drift City event, Cape Town's premier motorsport festival, which is held in the shadow of Table Mountain in front of an enthusiastic crowd of admirers.
Drift City is a jump corner with the drifting, so it's like a drift corner. Much more technical driving to what we are doing as drifters. It's a course that you have to remember all the way from start till the end. So yeah, it's extremely difficult. Drift City competitions, this is the second one that I'm in now. The first one I won. So yeah, we hope for a win today. We don't drive a lot, so it's every second month or so, and then we get the chance to play around the cars. But ask them to do it in Atlantis for the lighties and so then that's my other practice I get. As I went through the day now, I just had 2 practice runs. We're just allowed 2 practice runs. The track layout is a bit difficult, very difficult, insanely difficult. And as you see, on the one side is a pole, on the other side is a cone. So if you come out of turn 1 and if you link up the car, then you see 2 cones, so 2 blue cones, and then you get confused, man. So must you switch? Mustn't you? Or what is this now again? So you know, and we just had 2 runs, so we're not allowed more runs, and I think that's a bit of a headache for me.
Man, I love the way that baby Christina whoops it.
Tap a cone, 5 points, plus 5 seconds for clipping a cone. If you off course, it's 10 seconds. Add it with your time.
Take a romancer, take you out on a date. Give us some spaghetti and meatballs over fine wine.
Okay, most of the cars, we all run 2J. Some is a bit better tuned. Some has got green masala in, you know. So yeah, and that's how the difference is. And setup also. Most of the guys are running Wisefab, but like you'll see, my car hasn't got so much angle like Sean's car, but Sean's car is slow. So.
I've seen this man from the humble beginnings of a spinner to the world-class drifter that he is, ladies and gentlemen, Shane Green. What's happening, Shane?
Good.
So listen, there's a lot of die-hard fans here. You've been in this game for a while. You've gone from spinning to drifting, anywhere in between. You're about to take on the Gymkhana world. How are you feeling about your chances here today?
Yeah, no, I'm super excited about it. Course layout is a bit crappy, but okay. I'm getting there. We're just struggling with the tire pressures now. So yeah.
Shane Green, we're wishing you all the best, boy.
Shane's wife can barely hide her anxiety as she watches the contest from the sidelines.
We ended up qualifying 9th. What I did is I did a quickest of 41. So I was like top, and then Otto came in with a 39, and Isak Vanzel came in with a 40, dead 40 straight. And then I moved to 3rd, but what they did is they take your first run and your second run, and then they added up, and then they divided into 2, and that technical crap I don't understand, but okay, we ended up 9th then. I had no grip at all, so I think because the track temperature went a bit cold, and that's how we lost grip. But I don't want to, like I said earlier, I didn't want to put the tire pressure too down and then I break something and then I'm not going to drive for the rest of the day. I did not clip any cones for the day. Yeah, I was consistent. No, I'm not too happy. I ended up 9th now. Yeah, but for next year we will go like the other guys, wider tires or maybe better shafts. And you know, we'll wait till BMW come along and give us a sponsor, so then we can have the Manier stuff in to compete against the guys.
Judges, I see them bobbing their heads. Deliberation.
So what happened is we qualified. I qualified 9th, and then we went into top 8, and then I was knocked out by my friend Akil Parker.
Despite 2 technically flawless runs, Shane cannot repeat last year's success. Nevertheless, he wins over more admirers and remains undaunted in the quest to become a full-time professional driver.
Semis 1.3 bar boost.
I won't stop teaching or passing on the knowledge we have about road safety. That I will never stop. But I mean, drifting, you eventually ended. I mean, these guys are doing drifting, they're 60 years old, and yeah, but they're doing it professionally. So basically, I'm just trying to use my drifting skills to pass it on to the younger generation, as to please just do it on a place where it's legal. The drifting world and car scene, there's more females latching onto it, which I mean, I think it's awesome. In Cape Town, there's that I know of 2 in the drifting scene, and I think there's one or two in Cape Town that's but more on the spinning side of things. And in Johannesburg, 1 female that I know of as well. These are only people that I know of. I was at one of our events on Saturday, and this one guy came up to me. He said, you know, We've been following you since you started out. We always pushed you because that's when I was practicing on how to even get a slide, which is the drift. And I said, from what we see now, you've really grown, and we actually so glad that you never gave up, because a lot of females actually eventually decide not to, but I encourage them not to. I mean, I know it's a very expensive sport, and I always encourage females, I mean, if there's things that you can do, which supposedly male-dominated, there's no such thing. We girls can rock too, you know. No. Yeah, no, I'm hoping I am. I mean, when I started drifting, this was about 7-8 years ago, and I actually had a lot of females interested in and always coming up to me and asking me, and I'm always encouraging them. Whatever it is and you're passionate about it, you must just go for it.
Good drifting, spinning, no ways. There's no better sport or no, I won't. Even if financially I'm one day broken, I'll just get in another car. So no, I won't. Good thing, no, I won't quit.
The need for speed has been driving both men and women since the invention of the motor car. Since the turn of the 20th century, people have been testing the speed limits of cars. People's desire to see how much control they actually have over these mechanical beasts has also led to the evolution of activities like drifting and spinning. For both Malika and Shane, these elements hold true in their love of the sport. A sport that they both realize has many negative connotations associated with it. They both work hard at changing these perceptions by promoting the positive side of the sport. They are both ordinary, hardworking people who love their families and also happen to love the freedom and adrenaline that comes with controlling a powerful vehicle.